What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a beautiful morning Wednesday. We are here almost that much closer to the weekend. We got some very important hot topic buttons. This story actually just jumped off. Well, it actually happened a couple days ago, but it just popped off on social media like yesterday where everybody was talking about it. So let's go. So this one right here was just a straight up shocker. It went down Super Bowl Sunday, but it caught a lot of fire just yesterday on social media where everybody kind of pretty much found out what the story was happening. And because of the severity of the crime, I mean, it took everybody, pretty much speechless. And also from the perspective of all the parents out there like myself, you kind of read it and you're like, whoa, you feel angry, you feel frustrated, you're just like, yo, what is really going on? And I know some of you might still be kind of unclear in the dark, like, well, what's really going on? So it all starts right here with Mr. Denny Von Doom. They posted this saying, I want to have a conversation because I'm seeing folks in the thread and on the TL saying this guy has a reputation in multiple circles for being gross around women, but yet none of it has been called out until now. This is a problem. And the individual that he's referring to is 32-year-old Thomas Cheung, if I'm pronouncing that right, a gaming employee from Metro Atlantic and a Twitch partner. According to DeKalb County Police arrest warrant, Cheung thought he was talking to a 14-year-old girl through a dating app, Whisper, but it was actually an undercover agent.
21 men ages 20 to 55 were arrested and charged as part of Operation Interception. They were accused of arranging to have sex with a child, and that sting was centered in Brookhaven, but agencies all across the state helped out with this one. The DeKalb County District Attorney's Office will prosecute those cases.
And Slasher goes on to add to this, saying Cheung was aware he was talking to someone who appeared to be underage and stated in his text messages to the undercover agent that he wanted to show her some things and that he didn't like using a condom, asked to meet in a parking lot of a Kroger's. And then of course everywhere was shock and awe. People were like, yo, this actually hits really close to home because a lot of people knew him. He went to a lot of tournaments that were like, some people were actually like, not only did I know him, but he was actually kind of like a friend. Like Paige right here when she wrote, I feel disgusted to have called this person a friend of mine. The statute he was charged under relates to children 15 years and younger. He always used to hit on me and give me a creepy vibe, but I just ignored it. Listen to your gut, people. And then others actually went as far to actually reach out to orgs or businesses that he might at one time been affiliated with in the past to make sure they knew about this as well. With statements like this that read, your community specialist was just arrested for being in a child traffic sex ring. This is insane and tragic for the gaming community as a whole. He used to play World of Warcraft too. And then others like NZXT right here respond back saying, we worked with Thomas Cheung 2 years ago and his contract expired in September 2017. This behavior goes against everything we stand for and is something we do not condone. We have high standards for all our partners and trust that our legal system will act accordingly. And the Slasher was pretty much all over this. He released a lot of helpful information like this one right here that says, HiRez released a statement firing Thomas Cheung effective immediately. I have requested the full police report from Brookhaven PD who told me they would get back to me today. And the statement reads as follows, saying on Monday, February 4th, we learned through local news that Thomas Cheung was arrested in an operation by the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. At this point, we know only what has been reported in the local news and local law enforcement and cannot comment on specifics for Mr. Cheung's case. Other than to say that as of today, Mr. Cheung is no longer employed by HiRez Studios. As a parent, it is difficult to imagine more disturbing allegation than those laid out in the news reports. We commend the efforts of the Georgia Bureau of Investigations and other law enforcements to protect our state's children and to send a strong message that the behavior targeted in their Operation Interception will not be tolerated in Georgia. And the Slasher pretty much wraps it up right here saying he is still in police custody and will be back in court February 14th. He is a predator unknown to everyone who met him, spoke to him, and knew him. The gaming community has now literally had someone get Chris Hansen just awful. This is pretty much the lowest of the low. As a parent myself, it's very hard for me to actually keep my cool and not just like rip because, you know, I want to report the story. I want to have a conversation with you guys and I want to do it in a way where I have a cool head. But at the end of the day, we got to keep it 100, right? A pedophile is a pedophile is a pedophile no matter what community you are in. It is disgusting. And all I can do is give my thanks to that law enforcement for actually doing their job and busting all these individuals. They busted like, what was it, 21 guys? 22 guys? Over 20 dudes at the same time. And when it's all said and done, I really do hope we can learn from this because sadly enough, it is something that we've seen pretty much in the ballpark of, not only in the FGC, like I mentioned previously, but in gaming communities in general. Hopefully, we can now just be more aware of our surroundings, be quicker to recognize any warning signs that might be out there, and have the courage to stand up to this and come together to overcome any kind of sexual harassment or indecency. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found the video informative, and I also thank you for all the endless love that you guys are constantly showing here on Button Check. See you bright bright and early tomorrow morning with a new episode. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.